Missing, lost, trafficked, investigations. I'm Pebbles, executive news producer, creator,
Everything
and
just out here in
writer.
the airways about August 11th.
We're looking everywhere, in bushes, in ditches, in roads, everywhere. We've even gotten shot at looking.
Thing I can think about is my child's out there somewhere.
The mother's house, by the mother's house, is where they're protected.
Hard night tonight. I can't sleep. Had so many things going through my head.
Kianna Galvin was last seen on May 6 of 2016 in South Elgin, Illinois. At the time of her disappearance, she was 17 years old. On 12:30 p.m., May 6 of 2016, Kianna left her home on Concord Avenue, telling her younger sister she was taking a short walk to a nearby Jim Hansen Park. At 12:35 p.m. that same day, she sent a final text message to an acquaintance stating she was on her way to his house.
Was a neighbor, Mr. William King, who lived next door to the house on Revere Road. And this neighbor had reported that he had seen Kianna at the house on Revere Road.
And that was the early afternoon of the 6th?
Yes.
And he saw her?
Yes. And then on May 12th, 6 days after Kianna disappeared, Mr. King was bringing his garbage can back into his property. He noticed that there was a red stain on the lid of his garbage can.
A red stain?
Yes. He didn't know if it was animal blood or human blood, but he thought it was important enough for him to notify the police.
So do we know how much blood was present?
We don't.
Did any determination come about as to whose blood it was?
Yes. 4 months later, the lab analysis revealed with 99% accuracy the presence of Kianna's DNA.
Oh my goodness.
Once we got that information, our focus was on the people who lived in the house on Revere Road. There was a search at the house.
And what did you find out?
The police wouldn't reveal that. One of the series of facts that they held back from us. At this point, there are two big questions. Big question number one is, what information does the police department have about this case? And what information are police refusing to reveal 9 years later?
Can you tell me about this guy and the young lady, Kianna's friend, who's living in the house, and their relationship?
When they first started dating, it was cool, but after Kianna went missing, they started arguing a lot.
How did you know that they were arguing a lot?
Because she's friends with someone I know, and they told me. Months after she went missing, they got into an argument, and he ended up slicing her throat.
Kianna's friend, the girl that lived in the house on Revere Road?
Yeah.
Why did he slice her throat?
She told him that she was going to tell everybody what he did to Kianna.
And you believe the argument was about?
It was about Kianna. That's what I heard.
What Brandy is telling me is very different from what this childhood friend told the police. What she said in the report is that the argument started over a run to buy alcohol. But if what Brandy heard is correct about why Kianna's childhood friend's throat was slashed, it could be a game changer. But the police never spoke with Brandy. Could the childhood friend have changed her story out of fear? And is she willing to talk now?
I just want to find my daughter, that's it. I want to know what happened. I want her home. Just this looking like a bleak outcome being this, it's been this long that I have to wrap my head around, which I don't want to. But, yeah, after a year, somebody just doesn't vanish off the planet like that for that long, so, that's about all I really do is think about her constantly. My mom always asked me, like, just go in there and make her bed, and I can't go in there because I smell her in there, her clothes and her perfume, and I just cannot bring myself to go in there.
I'm ABC 7's John Garcia in South Elgin, where police are doing what they're calling a forensic excavation, looking for evidence of a missing girl. She's been missing for 10 years. 17-year-old Kianna Galvin of South Elgin was last seen, according to some neighbors, going into the house where they are searching. It is unclear at this point what, if anything, police have found.
Hey guys, yeah, so I have been kind of spending the last 30 minutes or so chatting with people who live in this area, one of which, by the way, was Kianna's best friend of about 2 years. I'll step out of the way so you can see the operation for yourself, and let me just describe kind of what I've learned here again in the last 30 minutes. First of all, you know, South Elgin, this community, it seems to be very tight-knit, right? A lot of people have, you know, friends who know other people, right? They're all mutually kind of connected. You know, once again, we've been hearing from Kianna's best friend that she did not want to go on camera, but she did tell me that, you know, Kianna spent a lot of time at this house because it was connected to one of her friend's boyfriends at the time. It sounds like, you know, she would spend Christmas at this house sometimes. It was like family. Kianna is described as someone who, you know, saw the good in everybody. She trusted people really easily, is what her best friend told me. She was the life of the party. And, you know, what I'm hearing from a lot of these neighbors right now is this question of why now? You know, this is pretty much the message I'm hearing all across the board from people I've been talking to all morning, because a lot of these neighbors, it seems to be a pretty mutual level of understanding here that this homeowner who lived there at the time, around the time that Kianna disappeared, renovated the basement of this home about a year after she disappeared, and then they're telling me that, you know, they re-renovated the home. So they did it again. They did it twice. Kianna also was really, really close with her younger sister, and she comes into play a little bit later, and I'll kind of describe the timeline of what we know so far about her disappearance. But, you know, Kianna is the big sister that, you know, everyone always dreams of, right? She would attend her little sister's basketball games all the time. So once again, guys, for people who are just tuning in, authorities in South Elgin are saying that investigators found some underground anomalies, is what they're calling it, connected to the disappearance of Kianna Galvin. And how they found that out was by using radar technology. So that's something that allows you to see something underground without actually digging. In fact, neighbors told me yesterday, police were out here yesterday, and now they're coming back with this huge operation with, you know, a mobile command unit and tents. They've, in fact, just extended their search area as well by adding an additional tent out there, and they're making sure that that area is pretty enclosed so that no one can see inside. So once again, investigators are saying they found irregularities underground. That is why they're going to be excavating a home here in the 800 block of Revere Road as part of this decade decade-long investigation. I will say it's unclear exactly which part they're excavating, right? Are they focused inside the basement where those renovations happened? Are they, focused on a completely different area in the home? Is it the backyard? So those are questions that we're trying to find answers to as we speak. As far as the timeline goes, guys, to paint a better picture here, Kianna Galvin was 17 years old when she disappeared, almost exactly 10 years ago, by the way, on May 6th, 2016. Investigators say that Galvin had told her sister, again, her younger sister, that she was heading to Jim Hansen Park that afternoon, but then never came back home. At 12:35 p.m. that same day, shortly after she left home, Kianna sent a text to an unidentified man saying she was on her way to his house, which once again, we heard from Kianna's best friend, that this home once belonged to Kianna's friend's boyfriend. Okay, so she didn't send or receive any other text messages after that. Her phone was actually disconnected from cell service at around 1:10 p.m. 6 days later, though, on May 12th, the neighbor who lived next door to this unidentified man told police they found traces of blood on the lid of a garbage can. And that blood was actually sent off for testing. It came back and was confirmed to be Kianna's. That neighbor also told police they saw Kianna going inside this man's house either on the day she disappeared or the day before. Several months later, on November 8th, authorities executed a search warrant at the home of this unidentified man, which is exactly where they are again today. Keep in mind, this now belongs to a different homeowner. So when police searched this home 10 years ago, there was no information released on what, if anything, was found. And fast forward to today, you have all sorts of crews out here, big emergency vehicles as well, as crews start getting ready to, do this whole excavation. Now, with that being said, for people who live in the South Elgin area or in the surrounding areas, this stretch all here of Revere Road is going to be blocked off. People who live right here on Revere Road, they're going to be able to get in just fine. But, with something like this, it's going to take a very long time. That's what we're hearing from authorities all across the board. So they're making sure that this area is blocked off for people who don't need to be in this area right now. We're going to be spending the rest of the day just asking people all the questions that I know so many people are asking at home as well. So we'll continue checking in with you guys, and we'll let you know if there are any additional.
This.
A dig for clues turned up no new evidence in the search for a missing suburban teenager. Police excavated this property yesterday at a home in South Elgin. The Kane County State's attorney says that search was prompted by ground-penetrating radar that detected something underground, but no human remains were found. Investigators are searching for Kianna Galvin, who disappeared back in 2016 after telling family she was walking to a nearby park.
TikTok is just gonna do the most, but I don't really give a fuck, because TikTok, not y'all just not paying attention in the news, just not paying attention 10 years later, that Kianna case, y'all should have been paying attention back when the blood was found. Like, what was y'all doing? What was y'all doing for a decade? May 6, 2016, it is 2026. What the hell was y'all doing for a decade? Please answer that. Like, y'all should have been looking into that. And y'all unprofessional. Everybody X off the block. I don't care.